Okay, so let's begin. We are live. Welcome all for the event of Microsoft AI 2025, which is happening in today with 10 sessions and 10 different speakers, or 11 speakers actually. The first session starting with our MEPs, Smita and Nandeep, who would take over the session, and the session will begin in a couple of minutes. It'll happen until next 45 minutes to 50 minutes, and you have Q&A with our speakers, and then begin with the next one at 11 a.m. So over to you, Nandip. You can take the stage and continue. Let me add your screen.
Oh, oh, sorry. I think I'm not presenting. Oops, sorry. I was presenting. Okay.
Yeah, you were
Yeah, yeah.
presenting.
Hopefully it is
And then
visible. Yep. Hello. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hopefully you're able to hear me. Okay. See my screen. All of the basic tech
yes,
tech checks, right? All right. So go to
Yes,
start with
it is.
with the first session. All right. So hello everyone. Welcome to Microsoft AI Summit 2025. Firstly, thank you to all the organizers, Pratap, Lingaraj, and everyone who is involved in getting this done. So thank you very much for hosting this event wherein we do get a chance to present our smaller topics to the wider audiences. So thank you very much for that. And with that, let's get started with our session, which is unlocking the potential of declarative agents in Microsoft 365. Okay, so even though the title looks bit wider, don't worry, it is a very smaller, nicer concept that we should be aware when we talk about the declarative agents. So in this session, we will see like what is declarative agent and without any kind of an coding experience, how we can develop those declarative agents for us. Okay, so um, probably we will see like how we can take various data sources, we can use them to create the declarative agents without having any coding knowledge. All right, so you don't need any coding knowledge, probably even you don't need any extra licenses for that as well. For example, if you are using Copilot Studio, you at least need some extra licenses. But in this case, for example, if you just have got Microsoft 365 license and Microsoft Copilot license, that's it. You don't need any additional licenses to create these declarative agents. All right. So with that, get started, and let's see like what do we have to cover for today. So before we start, just a quick introduction. Myself, Nandadeep Nazan. I'm Microsoft MVP for M365 apps as well as uh, AI AI platform, as well as I'm Microsoft certified trainer, author of these three books. I'm from Pune. You can connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, or if in case you are interested to see some of my work, maybe you can get onto the blogs or my YouTube channel. And that's it. And with me today, I have Smita. Unfortunately, yesterday she went under the wisdom tooth extraction, so she will not be able to talk, but she's there to help support your queries in the chat. So if in case you do have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat and she will be happy to answer them. But quick introduction of her, like she works as a Microsoft 365 consultant since last 16 years. She's also a Microsoft MVP under M365 and AI platform. And again, she has authored this couple of books alongside me onto the SharePoint Hybrid and Viva Connections. And again, if in case you want to get in touch with her, here are some of her social media handles to get in touch. All right. So with that, let's get started with the agenda. Again, we do have some packed agenda there, but don't worry, we are going to keep it pretty much simple. So first thing, we will talk about agents. Then we will see like, for example, if you want to create agents in SharePoint, then how to create those, because SharePoint as a data source has got a long history. We have been using SharePoint for more than 2 decades now. Obviously, most of the organizations, they have huge data in SharePoint, and again, day by day it continues to grow. So we will see like, if in case we want to create agents based out of that data that we have been maintaining since last 20 odd years, how to do that. Then we will see how to create the specific declarative agents using Teams toolkit for SharePoint as well as a generic agent. Again, how we'll be able to add SharePoint or OneDrive kind of an sources to the Microsoft Copilot declarative agent. and then how we can use Graph Connector as well as plugins to create those declarative agents. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to walk through. And again, believe me, this is going to be entirely hands-on kind of a session. We will cover few theory parts, and then we will move to the declarative agents with hands-on. Okay, so before we get started, let's discuss like SharePoint as a data source. As I mentioned, we have been using SharePoint for more than 2 decades now. It has got huge data for most of the organizations because even we have been using SharePoint as our internet portal. So we have got various data which is there. We have got various documents. We have got various content which is available into SharePoint. So why not then use SharePoint as a data source for creating our agents? So firstly, understand SharePoint as a data source. So a pretty much simple questions like why do so many organizations they still rely on SharePoint for the content management and collaboration? So the answer is very simple. SharePoint is very robust, secure, and it is a enterprise-ready platform that help all of the organizations for managing, storing, as well as utilizing the data very efficiently. So we can use SharePoint, which also has got Microsoft 365 security, governance kind of and features as well. But then again, what makes it such a great data source for solutions like Copilot Studio or maybe for the declarative agents? So first thing, obviously, SharePoint has got a predefined c- or SharePoint has been the preferred kind of a content management solution because SharePoint act as a backbone for content management for the organizations of all the sizes across the industries. So whether it is about storing the documents or maybe storing the structured data in the form of list, SharePoint provides a centralized kind of a repository where business can securely store or manage their content, and it integrates seamlessly with Microsoft 365 applications like Planner, Microsoft Teams, Yammer, which is now renamed to Viva Engage, and then thereby it ensures that all of the employees can access the information that they need without switching between multiple systems. And now that when we talk about modern AI powered solutions like copilots or agents, the quality and the accessibility of the data play very crucial role there. And since many of the organizations they are already using SharePoint as their content hub, it becomes kind of an ideal source for driving the intelligent workflows and the automation. Secondly, like it helps organizations to collate the information at one place because it is one of the biggest challenge for the business which is being faced today is the information fragmentation. So data is often scattered across multiple applications, different storage systems, maybe into the email threads as well. So SharePoint here obviously solves this challenge by allowing organizations to collate and structure their data at one centralized location. And then maybe imagine a scenario where enterprise wants to implement AI-powered knowledge assistant. So instead of having employees search for files across various repositories, various file systems, conversations, and all those things, they can leverage SharePoint as a single source of truth, and thereby the information retrieval becomes very much faster, more efficient. And these AI-driven solutions like Copilot or Agent, they can pull the insights from well-organized knowledge base. Thirdly, like for example, if if in case you have got any sensitive data that remains protected while being utilized into the Copilot Studio as well as with Declarative Agent, because SharePoint is already built with the enterprise grade security, compliance, and governance kind of an feature. And when we use it as a data source within Copilot Studio or within Declarative Agent, it ensures that the permission and security policies they remain intact. So in simple words, for example, if we have rolled out one agent to our organization, obviously it is going to surface the data which individual has got access to. Let's say, for example, when you ask like what is the salary of my CEO, obviously you don't have information or access to that information, then you will not be able to get that information, right? So it respects the security and compliance boundary which is set by your organization. So if in case you do not have the access to the system, obviously with Copilot and agents, you will not be able to get the information from there. Okay, because it is kind of a very frequently asked question when it comes to the implementation or adoption of copilots like will it surface the data which is sensitive? So, for example, if you have set those boundaries, definitely it is not going to do that. And lastly, it is about unlocking the advanced kind of search capabilities. So, the true power of SharePoint as a data source lies in the indexing. So, when the data is stored into the SharePoint, when it is indexed, the AI-driven solutions like Copilot Studio as well as Declarative Agent, they can perform the advanced searches across the entire SharePoint ecosystem. So maybe think of this like instead of employees who are manually searching through the folders and documents, or maybe just using the keyword-based search functionality of SharePoint, a declarative agent can surface that relevant content within a seconds. Okay, because even as of today, when we are talking, SharePoint has got some limitation that it only works with the keyword search. But when we will combine the power of Copilot Studio or declarative agents with SharePoint, obviously we can do all the things using the index which is already built by SharePoint. So, as a summary, SharePoint is not just the content management tool, it is a powerful data source that can enhance your AI driven solutions. And with its ability to centralize the information, security, as well as seamless indexing, it can be a perfect fit for the modern AI workflows. Okay, so that is what we are going to see now. So, firstly, let's start with SharePoint agents. Okay, so SharePoint agent is the very simplest thing to create an agent. So, for example, you might have used Copilot Studio or you might have used Declarative Agent. So, believe me, even though we say like it takes very less time to create those agents, probably with Copilot Studio or with Declarative Agent, it at least takes 2 to 5 minutes to create your agent. But this SharePoint agent is just one click away. Just in one click you will be able to create your agent. All right, so let's see how we can do that. So firstly, like every SharePoint site, it comes with a Copilot built in. Okay, so that means you don't need to do any extra installation, extra configurations. Every SharePoint will come with a Copilot or the agent. So everyone who has got at least edit permissions, they will be able to create those agents from SharePoint in a fewer clicks. And then from there you can share your custom agents with the team. Even you can add it to the Microsoft Teams conversation as well. And then you can also integrate with Microsoft Copilot Studio, which is kind of an upcoming feature as of now. All right, so with that, let's get into our first demo. Now that we don't have much slides, we will be just going through demos. So we will see like now that, for example, if you want to build your SharePoint agent, how you can do that. So let us take an example of a travel company. So I do have some documents where we have travel information. So we do have the travel brochures here. So imagine that you are running a company called as Market Travels. Let me just delete the first one. Okay, so imagine that you are running a travel company called as Market Travels, who runs its business in various continents or in various cities or countries. And we do provide some kind of an travel options as well as the hotel accommodation options. So let's say, for example, if I open up this Dubai brochure, here you can see that this is the information about Dubai specifically. Let me just zoom it in. So here we have basic information about Dubai, like what Dubai is famous all about and everything. And these are the hotels in which we operate in Dubai. Okay, so this is a very simple one-page PDF that we have got, but this represents our business as a Market Travels. Now that, for example, when we want to create a agent on top of it, so this information is already into SharePoint. You can see that these are the PDF files which are pre-uploaded onto SharePoint document library. So here we do have option to create the agent. Okay, so let's say we go ahead, click create an agent, and that's it. That's the only one click that you are going to do to create your own agent. So as of now, you can see that we can directly create an agent. Oh, sorry. You can directly create an agent onto this entire folder, which is the travel brochures or this document library specifically. Or for example, if you just want to create an agent by selecting certain files, for example, Dubai, London, and New York brochures, you can select those selectively and then again go for create agent. And here you can see that the sources have been changed. So now that we do have agent which is created on these three files. All right. So let us do that. Like we will not limit it to only one file, but we will just go ahead and create an agent. Okay, so that means we are creating an agent on the entire document library. And so far, I have not written any code. I have not written any ID or open any kind of an additional IDs for that. So I just have clicked that one click, create an agent, and that's it. I will click on open agent. Once we do the open agent, that is the only thing, just one click and your agent is ready. One limitation that I have recently observed with this agent is like now the agent is ready, but let's say we ask agent like suggest me hotels in Dubai. Oops. It may or may not use the information from those sources which we have selected, because it takes some time to build its index and then move ahead. But let us do that. Even failed experiments are good to understand the concept. Okay, so this is the one which I was talking about. So here you can see that it is telling us about Bulj Al Arab, Jumeirah, and other hotels which are not inside of our um, source that we have given. Okay, so let me just show the source one more time. So this is the source that we had given, where we have the Creek Hotel, Dera Hotel, and the Lost City Hotel. But if you had seen the information that we have got, it wasn't of that. So we just have to be patient, maybe just wait for maybe just 30 seconds or so, and then we can again open up the agent and then we can do the query. So for example, if you are very quick, if you want to be very smart, very faster than agent as well, probably this will not work. So let us go ahead and try to run this query one more time, like suggest me hotels in Dubai. And this time it should go ahead and get us the information from the actual source, which is our SharePoint site. Okay, so here you can see that this is the information that we are getting. And then how your end users should believe that this is the information which is coming from the trusted source which we have given to the agent. So the indication for that is this citation. So here you can see that we do have a citation. This one that you can see here is a citation, and then we do have this references, and this is the reference which we are getting from this file, which is Dubai reference. So yeah, miss, at least once you create an agent, if you directly put a query to the agent, it will not work very instantaneously, because it takes some time to index the data, get to the index, and get the information. Maybe just 15 to 20 seconds. But again, just wanted to show you that how that works. If you are patient for 15 to 20 seconds, then you will see that this is how it works. So you have seen that at least we did not write any code, we did not install any other IDs, we did not even use any extra licenses, and the Copilot is ready within just one click. All right, so now that we have this Copilot ready, how about the customizations? So is that we are just going to use this agent as it is? No, obviously it is not. And one thing, like when you create an agent, this is how the agent looks like. So again, this is a file which is inside of the same document library, because right now this agent is bit personal to me. This is not being used by anyone else. For example, if you want everyone to use the this particular agent, in that case there is an option at the top. Again, for example, if I go back to the agents, so these are the list of agents that you see here. And until and unless we don't have this verified this tick box, that means this is not the approved agent for this site, and then the others will not be able to locate and use this agent. So how to do that? So to do that, we will again open up this agent, so this, which is a dot agent file that we have got, and then we will go into the edit mode of this. So in the edit mode, here you can see that on the very first screen we just have got the identity, wherein we can have the name for this agent. If in case you don't want to call the agent as the agent, you can remove that as well. If in case you do have any image that you want to be used as a logo for this agent, so that your end users, they will be able to locate and trust this agent, in that case you can use that. This is the description which will be used maybe in the future when we will be calling one agent from the another agent. So have a good description describing the purpose of this agent. So this is the agent that you can do here. um, the upcoming thing that we have got here is the advanced customization in Copilot Studio. For example, if I click here right now, we do not have this option. It is still coming soon. So in the future, we will get a chance to make a customizations on top of it using Copilot Studio. But again, if in case you don't want to do that, you can just live with this agent as it is. All right, so this is about the identity part. Now, if in case we go to the sources, here you can see that we have add up to 20 sources for each agent, okay, which is again more enhanced functionality than Copilot Studio. So here you do have 20 sources. So if in case you want to add some other SharePoint sites, you can just add it here and then you will be able to use it. If in case you want to remove this particular source, the travel process, you can do that. If in case you do have files or you do have any extra document libraries, you can use those as well to get it added as a data source to this particular agent. So this is about the sources from where the agent will surface the information. The last thing is behavior, like how your agent should behave, how their interaction should be with the end users. So this is a welcome message that you will see here. So let's say, for example, we just call it here as a welcome to travel agent. That's it. So this is the welcome message that your users will see when they will open up this agent. Okay. So this is a short message that we have written here. Again, after that, when your agent will be kicked by any of the users, when they will invoke your agent, probably all of your users might not be well aware of like what kind of a prompts that they should start with. In that case, obviously you can give some kind of a starter prompts. Okay, so probably here we will say like suggest me hotels in Dubai. So this one will be a starter prompt for your users to go ahead and start the conversation. Okay, so this is just the starter prompt. So again, starter prompt has got a wide opportunity as well as wide concept when we are creating the copilot, so that your users of the agent, they will get some idea like what kind of questions can be answered by this agent. After that, we do have this instruction for the agent which defines the behavior of this agent, like how your agent should behave with your end users or how they should engage with the end users. So here you can see that the default thing that we have got is provide accurate information about the content in the selected files and reply in a formal tone. So let's say instead of formal tone, probably if you want to be creative and maybe if you can just type like a rhyme, that's it. So now that, for example, if we ask the same question like suggest me hotels in Dubai, it should give the responses based on the sources that we have selected, which is our document library, but it should give us the information in a rhymic way because we have changed the behavior of this agent. So here you can see that it has given the same citation, same information like these hotels and everything. But even if you read out the description for the hotel, it is a rhyme. Okay, probably I'm not good at singing or reading the rhymes, but here you can see that this is a rhyme. Like in a Dubai where sand go gleam, here are the hotels that fulfill your dream. Okay, so these are the rhymes or the behavior that we have baked in into this agent, so that when your agent will or when your users will engage with this agent, this is how they are able to see it. All right, so let us say this. What are the other things that we can do with this agent? Let us see. So okay, let it save. Meanwhile, let me just see if I can open up my Teams. Okay, so okay, it is still opening up, and here you can see that this is the this is the location where this agent is being saved. So, for example, if I open it up, it is same document library where this agent is. So that means this is still a personal kind of an agent. Now that, for example, if I just open up this agent and what are the other options that we have got here? Okay, so from here we do have other options like maybe set it as a approved agent. So when we will set this agent as an approved agent, in that case it will appear into the approved list, and from there our users will be able to use that. Now that, for example, if we again go back to the edit after doing that, you will be able to see the other options to work with that. So now that, for example, let me make it as approved, and we will just set it as an approved agent. So now that you have seen that the agent has been set as approved, and we will be able to find them into the site assets category. Okay, so every SharePoint has got a site assets library, and inside of that we do have a Copilot folder and we do have approved folder. All of your approved agents, you will be able to see it from here. Okay, so for example, if I do okay now, close this and maybe refresh this, this is the agent which should get removed from here now, and then this should appear under here. All right, so this is how it works. And now that, for example, if I go back into here, this is the approved agent that we are seeing. And even from here, we can copy or maybe share this agent with our colleagues. So you can just click share, and this is just a file. This is just a dot agent file, and then you can copy a link, or maybe you can share this with your colleagues, and you can send it. Other option that we have got here is we do have copy link for Teams. So let us do that. We will copy a link for Teams. So it is there. Now that we have this Teams open, let's say for example, if I go into the conversation with Megan, and then I just do this. So here you can see that this is the agent that we have got here. And once I sent it, we should again get an option to add this to the chat. So here you see we do have option add to this chat. Once you click add to this chat, this agent becomes your partner or your people into that conversation, and then again you can use mention to have a conversation with this. So again you can see that this particular agent is typing something. It should give a welcome message, and here you can see that I have added this brochure agent. So this is the welcome message that we get, which we have defined like welcome to the market travel agent, suggest me hotels in Dubai and everything. But now that, for example, if you want to explicitly invoke this agent, in that case, you can obviously use at the rate, and then you can go for the travel agent, and then you can ask like suggest me hotels in probably let me check take the other location, or you might think that only this works with Dubai. So let's say we do have Las Vegas, right? So we can go for Las Vegas. And then you can see that this is the agent which is replying right now, and then we'll be able to get the answers. So this is a very simplistic way by which you will be able to create your agent. So we don't need any extra licenses, additional licenses. Okay, it says sorry, but okay. So probably this is how it works. Even failed demos are a good one to show. But let's say, for example, if I go for suggest me hotels in Dubai, it should go ahead and give the responses, the same response that we have seen. So these are the ways by which we will be able to create the agents, add them to the team chat as well, and even we don't need any coding, or we don't need any kind of an okay. So let us do that view response. Okay. All right. So this one is because of the sensitivity level. But okay. So here you can see that this is the response that we have received. Okay. So this is how it works. All right. So that was our first demo, like how to get started creating your SharePoint agent. A very simplistic way, just one click, and your agent is ready. All right. So now that let us look at the other options, the bit of coding, but again, you don't need any kind of an extensive coding experience for creating those declarative agents. So what are those options? But before that, let's get into a basic theory. So these declarative agents, they are kind of a game changer in a way that we design and interact with the AI powered agents or copilots. So for example, if you have paid attention to this word called as declarative, so let us try to understand meaning of that, like why they are declarative agent. So earlier we were working with the agents which were imperative. Now that we have approach of declarative. So let us try to understand what is the difference between these two. So and again there is some kind of a paradigm shift which is happening from imperative to the declarative approach. So first, let us see about what is imperative approach, which was the traditional approach when we build softwares or even AI system. So what happened is like we followed a imperative kind of an approach. This means we explicitly defined how a system should perform a task step by step. Okay, so maybe think of this like writing a recipe. So each instruction must be followed in a strict sequence. Then and then only you are able to get your final product, your final recipe, right? Now that we are moving to this declarative approach. So this declarative approach mainly focuses on to defining what needs to be done rather than how it should be done. So instead of micromanaging every step, we just specify the desired outcome, and then let the system determine the best way to achieve that. So this is the only difference between these two. And right now we are into the era of that paradigm shift of using declarative agents over the imperative approaches. So when we apply this concept to AI, especially within the Microsoft ecosystem, we unlock the powerful automation capabilities without writing any complex code. Okay, so you don't need to write any complex code, the imperative approach, but you can solely focus on that declarative approach. So what you can do with the declarative agents is like you can build your own AI powered Copilot by simply declaring the instructions, actions, and knowledge. Okay, so that means you can define what the AI should do. You specify the high level instructions that it should follow, and then you can also configure the actions that AI should take when it responding to the users. And then obviously there are various benefits of it, like easy to use because even the business users or the non-developers, they can define this AI behavior without deep programming knowledge or even without any programming knowledge. And obviously it reduces the complexity by allowing users to specify like what needs to be achieved instead of writing how it should be done. Secondly, scalability, because this declarative agent makes it easier to scale AI solutions across the enterprise, and then you can just update the instructions and the knowledge sources dynamically without rewriting any kind of an code. Okay, so let's say, for example, if your declarative agent is pointing to one SharePoint site, you can just make them point to the other SharePoint sites, and that's it. You don't need to make any code level changes. And then lastly, it focuses on the business logic only. So maybe instead of you spending your time on the technical implementations, now that you can only focus on the core business processes, and it will improve your AI driven decision making. Okay, so instead of writing complex code or any kind of a manual handling workflows, these declarative agents are a way that will help you to craft your AI driven experiences which are more scalable, reusable, as well as easy to manage. Okay, so with that, maybe let's get into another demo and see like how we'll be able to do that. Mostly like whenever I show this kind of a demo, I try to compare declarative agents with the instant noodles that we make. So probably to everyone cook out there, at least we must have started our journey by cooking the instant noodles, right? So for example, Maggie or anything else that you like. So maybe this is the recipe that I try to follow. Like boil the water, start your timer, and this is going to be very quick. So just add the noodles to the pot, open your browsers and follow my steps which I'm going to show now. Follow all those step by step guide, and there is no seasoning here, it's already spicy enough. So one thing that I claim is like before your noodles are ready, before they are cooked, your Copilot agent will be ready. And then this is a bonus tip, like when miss while your noodles are getting cooled down, maybe explore other exciting ways that your Copilot agent can supercharge the productivity. Okay, so it is very much faster than serving the noodles as well. All right, so with that, let us see how we'll be able to do that. There are few prerequisites as well. When even Maggie says that you can cook Maggie or noodles in 2 minutes, they don't talk about the other things, the other gas and all those things that you should have ready. So same thing, I'm going to apply the same concept. The basic thing that you will need here is that you should have Visual Studio Code that you can see. I do have spin up this Visual Studio Code, and in Visual Studio Code we have extension called as Teams Toolkit. So you can just search for Teams Toolkit, and then you will be able to install it from here. Okay, so this is the Teams Toolkit. I already have it installed. That's the reason I get disable or uninstall option. So this is how the Teams Toolkit looks like. So these are the only two things that you will need, nothing else. And again, there is Kiosta that or Kyoto that you will need to get it installed. That's it. You don't need anything else. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to create a very simple declarative agent. I will not write any kind of an code. Don't worry, even if I do have Visual Studio Code open, maybe that makes everyone a bit scary about writing the code, but we are not going to write any code. We are simply going to use this Visual Studio Code as a tool to create the declarative agents. All right, so let's get started. So we are going to create a new app. At the top, we do get option to create a declarative agent. So we'll select that. For now, we will not add any kind of an action. We will go with no actions. And with that, let's get into the folder where we want to get it saved. And that's it. So once we do that, at least our declarative agent should be ready. So I'm just going to call it as a geography knowledge copilot. Okay, or maybe let us call it as agent instead of copilot. Okay, so we do have this geography knowledge agent, and this is the agent that we are going to create, which will help you to test your geography knowledge. Okay, all right. So since this project has been scaffolded, let us see what are the things that we have got here. So in the app package, we do have declarative agent JSON, which defines your agent. Okay, so here we do have schema, the version, the name. So probably we can change the name, like we can probably call it as a geography knowledge game, which is a declarative agent. If in case you want, you can give some kind of a description like this is a geography knowledge game declarative agent or declarative copilot, anything that you can call it. Let me just make that change, and even we will call it as an agent, right? And then we do have instructions. So instructions which defines the behavior for your agent. So those instructions are into this file called as instructions.txt, which is the next file that we have got. And here you can see that this is the instruction, the by default instruction that we get for defining the behavior of this agent. Again, we are going to change that. Believe me, here we don't need any coding knowledge, just the basic knowledge about what we want our agent to do. Sorry. So here we are saying like this is the geography knowledge test copilot or declarative agent probably instead of copilot. So this is the agent which is a geography knowledge test. So your role is to quiz the players with various geography related topics, for example, countries, capitals, landmarks, physical features, and then provide the multi choice questions or open ended challenges that match the player's knowledge level and tailor your responses based on players' answers, offering hints or explanation when needed, and celebrate the correct answers with interesting geographical facts, maps, encouraging emojis, and for wrong answers, just gently correct the player with the detailed explanation to enhance the learning. Okay, so this is the very basic instruction that we are going to or giving to this agent. That's it. For example, if you go into the manifest, you don't need to make any changes here because this is the manifest which calls your copilot. Okay. Even for example, if you don't open this file, not to worry. Uh, just for the technical people, this is just another extension available or the extensively available by which we'll be able to create this copilot agent. And inside of it, we are declaring our declarative agent with the ID of declarative agent, and the file is declarative agent.json, which is the entry point, and from where it defines like which instruction to call, what is the description of it, and that's it. We do have environment files here, but we are not going to use it. For example, if you are trying to create a Teams app out of it, probably in that case you can use that. But we are not going to do that. So far we have scaffolded the solution. We just have made changes to the declarative agent JSON, and we obviously should make change to the instruction file to define the behavior for the agent. That's it. No code, nothing else. So how this agent will run now? So again, for that, I'm going to go into the Teams toolkit, and here we do have an option of provision. So I will just click on provision. That's it. Uh, okay, before that, you have to get yourself logged in to your account, your Microsoft 365 account, and optionally to the Microsoft Azure account. So even if you are logged into your Microsoft 365 account, that's it. It is going to provision this particular agent onto the account that you have specifically mentioned here, and then your agent will be ready. All right, so here you can see that this is the, or maybe let me just go into the view, and okay, where is the oh, oh, oh. Okay, so I'm just trying to go to the output. Okay, output is here. So here, from here, you should be able to see that our deployment is successful. Oh, probably that message has gone now. But our deployment was successful. We had seen that message here. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to go back to the Copilot. Okay, so I'm back to the Microsoft 365 portal. I'm going to get into the Copilot. And then from here, we should be able to see that agent here. Okay, so this is the agent that we had created, geography knowledge game, which is a declarative agent. So this is the name which is coming from our file, which is this one. Okay, the declarative agent.json. Okay, so what we are going to do is probably we don't know like how to get started because we have not specified any prompts or the initial prompts or anything. So we're just going to say hi to this agent. That's it. Okay, so in reply to that, it says like this is a geography knowledge game declarative agent. Again, here you can see some emoji ready to test your geography knowledge. So probably you might be thinking like from where this information has come from. I have not written any code. So this is the power of that agent. Like it has used the LLM to create the behavior or based on the behavior that we have defined into the instruction txt, it has given us that information. And since we asked this particular agent to go ahead and test the knowledge of the user, here you can see that this is our first question: what is the capital of Australia? Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, or Brisbane? Probably I will not get into the chat to get the answers, but I think it is Canberra. So let us. I will just type C here. That's it, and then it should give us the answer. So again, here you can see that we had written into our instruction that when it is correct, maybe encourage the user and then give some more information about that. So here is the more interesting fact about the capital of Australia, which is Canberra, and then this is the other fact like Canberra was selected as the capital in 1908 and all those kind of a thing. Okay, and then after that it has given us the other question, like ready for another question: which river is the longest in the world? And these are the options. Probably I will not play this game with you, but this is how it is pretty much simple to create your copilots. Okay, so we did not write single line of code. We just define the behavior how your copilot should be ready, and that's it. So Visual Studio Code is it is just a tool by which you will be able to create those. Okay, so what we are going to do now is that probably I do have various other options by which we will be able to do that. So here, let's say we just have explored like how we'll be able to create a declarative agent with Microsoft 365 with Teams Toolkit. Now let us see like for example, if you have information in SharePoint or OneDrive sources, how you will be able to surface that to the Microsoft Copilot declarative agent. So I'm not going to do this thing from scratch. I do have few pre-created agents that I'm going to use here. Okay, so just respecting the time, I'm not going to do that, but believe me, it is the same thing. So once you have scaffolded your project, this is a declarative agent that we get here. So what we need to do here is that after the instruction, we need to add another functionality here called as capabilities. In the name, we have specified it as a OneDrive and SharePoint. And let me just open up this file for you or this location for you where I do have various documents available. Okay, so these are various resumes available. For example, if I just open up one of the resume, you can see that this is not even in English language. This is some different language. If I just open randomly any of the others, this is probably a Chinese or Japanese language. Maybe we do have few in English as well. So these are the resumes which are available in various shapes, various formats, and various languages. Okay, so these are a few of the resumes that we have got here, and this we are giving it as a source for our agent. So what we are going to do is we are trying to develop a career genie, which will help us to answer the questions. Okay, so like uh, who are the candidates who has got some experience into the Python or C Sharp, .NET, all those kind of a thing. So this is the only configuration that we are going to do. We are not going to write any code because this is a declarative agent. Second thing, we will go into the instruction txt. Uh, Here I'm just mentioning that you are a declarative agent which was created with Teams Toolkit, and that's it. So we are not going any fancy there. All right. So with that, again, go to the Teams Toolkit and then click provision here. So we are just going to provision that, and here you can see that we are already directly onto the step 4 of 5 which are needed to get this configured. And I think yeah, it is done or almost done. Okay, yeah, so the stage has been successfully provisioned. Let me again go back to the Copilot Studio, or sorry, not Copilot Studio, onto the Microsoft 365, um, and let us refresh this. So as we refresh this, we should be able to see the agent which is available onto the right hand side. So this is the agent. I guess the career genie was the one. So we will just click that career genie, and then we can ask some question like maybe can you suggest a candidate who has got some experience into Python, or who are an expert in Python, and then what it should do is it should go into all those document libraries, and then it should be able to give the answer. Okay, so in this case it wasn't able to give the information. Okay, maybe I will just type with another prompt candidate with Python experience. Okay, suggest candidate with Python experience. Okay, hopefully it should work. Okay, it is still not working. Probably it might take some time because the agent just have been provisioned, and then it takes almost 30 seconds to build that index and get it ready. So maybe let us wait until that thing is happening. Okay, let me again go back to the career genie, and maybe again we will type the same question. So just candidates who are an expert in Python. Hopefully it should work now. Let us see. Again, just you had to believe me that it works. I do have few samples available onto the internet as well as onto my blog. Let me just try with last thing like can you suggest candidates who are expert in SQL? Probably I might not have something with Python. Could be. So the last chance before we. Oh, right. So here you can see that probably I don't have anything with Python. So if in case you have someone, just refer them to me. Oh, I think accidentally I just have refreshed this. Just give me one moment. Okay, let me again go back to the career genie here, and then we will again ask instead of SQL, we will just do it for. Oh, instead of Python, we'll just do it for SQL. Okay. So I guess I do have some resumes with SQL, probably not with Python. That's the reason. So here you can see that this is the name. Isaac Talbot is the person who is SQL expert. So here we have got that reference as well. And once you click that, you can get into that, and here you can see that this is a SQL kind of an development experienced person that we have received. Okay, so this is how it works. Probably you will be able to surface the information directly from your SharePoint. Okay, so even if in case you have got any data in OneDrive or in SharePoint, you can use that. There are other interesting facts as well. Like for example, if you go for this, you do have settings here, and then for example if you are using any kind of an external data accesses, you will be able to configure from here. Other thing that you can see here is like once you go here, we do have the response capabilities. So here we do have web content. For example, if I turn this off, that means it is not going to surface any information from the internet searches. It is just going to use the responses based out on the knowledge sources that we have added to this agent. So this is another interesting thing to look into. All right. So with that, let's move to another demo that we have got here. So like we do have okay, so probably we are not going to look into this. We're going to look into this like for example, if you have the graph connector, like in that case, how you will be able to use the graph connector as a data source for declarative agent. So again, I will not probably go into the very theory of graph connector, but graph connector is a way by which you will be able to get the information from the external sources, any external system, make it as a part of the index inside of your Microsoft 365 so that your Microsoft Graph will be able to use that, and then you will be able to surface that information into your searches. So for that, I will go into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. We will go into the settings, and here we do have search and intelligence. So I already have created the graph connector. If in case you are not aware of how to do that, probably you can refer to my YouTube videos, wherein I have given a detailed explanation about what is graph connector and then how to create a graph connector. So here I already have created one data source for the risk countries as a PowerShell based graph connector, which will help us to give information from a web API called as risk countries. Okay, so if you just search for risk countries API, so these are the APIs that you can see here, risk countries. and then this contains information about all of the countries that we have got here. So for example, if you go to all, and if you select this particular thing, this is the entire JSON that you will see, which list out all of the countries, their information, capital, and all those kind of fancy thing. Okay, so for example, if I just search for India, so here you can see that we do have information about India as well. The official name is Republic of India. Then the official languages which are being spoken at India. The uh, all the thing about India is here. Okay, so like which other countries with which India share the borders and everything. So that all information, the capital, uh, and maybe the languages which are spoken. So all that information is available onto this REST API. So I have gathered all that information, made it as a part of Microsoft 365 ecosystem, so that we'll be able to use it here. Now that let us see, for example, if you want to create a agent on top of it, how you can do that. So for that, again, I'm going to use the agent which I have pre-created. But again, let me just walk you through the steps for that. So as like we can go to the Teams toolkit, create an agent. Once you are into the declarative agent.json, the name that we need to specify here is graph connector, and the connection ID is rest countries. So this connection ID is coming from here. For example, once you open this up, here we do have the name of the connector, which is rest countries. Okay, so this is the name that you see, which is rest countries. So this name, I'm just mentioning it here, and that's it. I'm not writing any code. Again, for example, if I go into the instruction.txt, here we do have the information like what it should do, like you are a country information specialist, and then again, you are knowledgeable and approachable and all those things, like use the emojis and everything. That's it. Okay, so this is the information that we want to surface. Again, let us go into the Teams toolkit and then let us click provision here, so that we'll be able to provision this particular agent and then use it onto the Copilot. Okay, so you can ask any information which is related to any country or capital, or just the basic information which is available from that REST API. All right, so it is doing the provisioning. Okay, so the provisioning has been successful. Let me again come back to the Copilot, and I guess yeah, it is here. But okay, let me still refresh just in case, to make sure that I'm using the correct version of that. All right. Okay, so this is the mm, rest countries. Okay, so rest countries is the one, and then I will just ask some question about any of the country or any of the city. So I will just say, like, tell me about Dodoma. Probably you might not be, you might not have heard of this Dodoma. So let us see like what information that we have got here. So this is the information which is coming from that source. So Dodoma is the capital of Tanzania, which is located in the central part of country and everything. And since we have asked to use emojis as well, it has used those emojis as well. Not many, but again, there are few emojis. So this is the information which is coming from that sources, the uh, source that we had defined here as the graph connector, and then we are able to see that. Okay, so with that, probably let's get into the very last demo before I close the session. Now that, for example, if you have got any plugins with you, in that case, how to create a copy of that plugin. So for example, if I go into the other declarative agent that I have got for plugin. All right, and then let me just show you that plugin as well. So this is the plugin that I have got here. So this is the plugin which is a Swagger API for paid store. For example, if I go into using a paid this is the information that we get. So probably once you create a new app, you are going to select the agent. You are going to select the declarative agent. You are going to select no plugins here. You are going to select no plugins here. Okay, let me just choose the right one. Okay, this is the one, right? Okay, so this is the one that I have got here. So once you create your declarative agent, what you can do is you can create a declarative agent. You can add an action, because now that we are going to use action from those APIs that we have defined. We will, in this case, we will start with either new APIs or any of the open API description document, which is your Swagger file. So we are going to start with the Swagger, and then these are the all of the OpenAI description that we get. For example, what are the APIs that we want to use or the operations that we want to use. So here I just have selected the get, and then that's it. Our solution will be ready. And let me just show you how that solution looks like. So this is the solution which will look like. So here we have action. We do have the AI API JSON, and then we do have some text, which is our conversation starters. So let me just firstly go into the Open API JSON. So this is almost a similar version, the downloader version of the API that we see here. We don't need to make any changes here unless we want to do anything explicitly. The other thing that we have got here is the AI API JSON, which is just mentioning about that it is referencing this Open API JSON file, and again there are certain functions. Okay, that's it. Again, we do have this declarative agent wherein we are taking a reference of all the files, and then lastly we do have the instruction txt file. Okay, all right, so these are the only information that we have got. So what we will do is we will just go into the Teams toolkit, we will click on provision, and at the end what will happen is like we are going to use this kind of an API which is for get. Um, okay, where is the get API? Probably let's say for example get paid by ID. So we will click here, we will click try it out, and then we can put up ID of the page probably 7, and that's it. So you should be able to see the okay, error probably page not found. Do we have any page with number 10? Let me just check, or maybe with number 1. Okay, and we will execute. And okay, here we have got some information about the doggy. Okay, her name is Maria. So let us go ahead. Our provisioning is successful. We will get back to the Copilot, and here we do have the page store plugin agent. This is the conversation starter that we had defined into our declarative agent. So this is the conversation starter, like find paid by ID. The other reason we can see it here. We will just click there, and then I will just mention find paid by ID 1. Let us run this, and then we should be able to get the same response that we have received from this Swagger. Okay, so okay, we just have to allow this connection, and we should get that response from the agent saying that this is the information for this particular pet with the ID of 1. So if you remember, this ID was for a doggy called as Maria. If in case, oh, where is the tab? Oops. Yeah. So now that if in case we again go back, we have find pet by ID 1. The ID is 1, category is Maria, name is dog. For example, if there are any photo URLs or tags mentioned, we should be able to see it. And then this is the indication that this is coming from the REST API called as Page Store plugin agent. All right, so I guess I'm well on time, and that is all I wanted to cover. So declarative agents are a way by which you will be able to create agents or co-pilots for your functionality without writing a single line of code, right? So with that, thank you very much for having us. If in case you want to take this discussion ahead, please feel free to get us connected onto the LinkedIn or Twitter, and then we'll be more than happy to have this conversation ahead. With again, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you
And
so much, sir. Thank you so
you,
much.
thank you.
So that's an amazing talk on unlocking the potential of declarative agents in Microsoft 365. I really enjoyed your site insights were super engaging and really
Thank you
helped
very
us to
much.
understand how powerful this technology can be. I really enjoyed,
Yeah,
and we have
thank you.
truly
Thank you.
enjoyed and learned so much from your presentation, sir. We genuinely appreciate it. Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. All the best.